What's up, guys? This is Nick. I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm losing weight exactly, like what's the whole reason for it. Basically, like most of my adult life, like I've wanted to be like some kind of like athlete or like, you know, professional athlete like in sports, and for a while I wanted to do football, you know, and then I went to a football tryout, and like I never played football like at all throughout my life, but I was really into it and I was really a big fan of football, so I thought, hey, I could probably play in the NFL. So I went to like a minor league tryout. In the minor leagues alone, like everyone is so much better than me. It was like so obvious. It was like, okay, like if you didn't do this your entire life, you're not gonna make it. Like maybe you could, but I just felt like I was so behind that it just wasn't gonna happen. So then I got into MMA, or you know, you might know it as the UFC. And I don't know, that's just been my passion now, and like I said, I've always wanted to be like an athlete or in some form of an athlete, and I just think MMA is kind of the thing that draws my attention the most, or the thing that I'd like to do the most, you know. I thought about doing it for a couple years, but like with the jobs I had, like I worked such a physical job that I wasn't able to even think about training. Like I'd be so sore after work, like there's just no chance. And then now, you know, I have a job where I could probably train, and you know, there's really no reason for me not to start. But the thing is, like the main reason why I'm losing the weight in order to fight is because there's, I don't know if you're familiar with fighting, but in the UFC or in MMA, there's different weight classes, and in each weight class, there's usually like a certain type of guy. Like if you're in the heavyweight division, which is, you know, up to 265 pounds, you know, they have some 7 foot tall guys, you know. I'm 6'2", so imagine me going up against a 7 foot guy. It'd kind of be a joke, you know. It'd be a little ridiculous. But as the weight classes started going down, you know, the average height for a fighter generally goes down. And another thing is the reach. Like for my height, I actually have kind of a shorter reach, and a reach is like how far your arms extend, and you know, that helps in fighting because like if they know how long your reach is, like generally if you have a longer reach, you know, you're able to hit someone before they can hit you. So like I said, I have a shorter reach for my height, and so I could fight at the higher weight classes, but the problem is they all have like way longer reaches than me, so they're gonna be able to hit me way before I could hit them. And you know, I could probably be successful, but I just like wanted to stack the chips, you know, in my favor as much as possible. So that's why what I want to do is actually go towards a lower weight class, because at the lower weight class, you know, I'll be much taller than most of my competitors, and I'll have a lot longer reach, you know, than most of my competitors. So I'll just be a lot bigger than the people I'm facing. And so hopefully, you know, with that like natural advantage, I've always wanted to say, like, I'm not extremely tall, but I'm taller than average. And you know, I was like, I kind of want to use, you know, what I was given, you know, athletically somehow. Like I want to take the most advantage of what I was given naturally, you know, and use it, you know, to compete. And I feel like by going into a lower weight class, I'll really, you know, be taking full advantage of what, you know, I was born with, you know. And my plan actually is to go to the lowest weight class they have, which is 125 pounds. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because currently I'm like 206 pounds. So that's a huge gap, right? That's massive. The thing is, like, I don't have to weigh 125 pounds all the time. Like what the fighters do is they'll generally walk around at about 10 to 15 pounds heavier than what they compete at. And so there's a thing called weight cutting where, let's say they walk around at 140 pounds normally, but when they're going to fight, they have to weigh in at 125 pounds. So they have to cut that weight, you know, in order to weigh in 125 pounds. But after they cut that weight, they rehydrate back and eat more food back to the original 140 pounds. So my thinking is, I don't need to get down to 125 pounds. I actually need to get down to 140 pounds, walk around at that to compete at the 125 pound division. So again, I'm 206 pounds, 140 pounds, that's a huge gap, right? And I agree. But the thing is, when I was in college, like I talked about, I got down to like 150 pounds, you know? And I didn't feel like crazy thin, like I didn't feel like I was crazy unhealthy. I felt like, you know, I could probably lose a few more. And 10 more pounds, I don't know, you know? I don't know. But worst comes to worst, if I can't cut down to 125 pounds, there's a weight division right above it at 135 pounds, and they generally walk around 150 pounds, which I know, you know, that I've done before and I can do. But I'd really like to see if I could possibly lose weight down to 145 or 140 pounds and just walk around at that weight, you know, and then cut down to 125 pounds. If that's possible, you know, I'm 6'2", I'd be the tallest, you know, person in the world in that division. So that's exciting. And plus, like, people in that division, like, they're I'm 6'2", they're only like 5'3", 5'4", maybe 5'5", like they're not that tall. They're 125 pound guys, you know, they're really not that big. So I feel like I'd have a pretty decent advantage over them, you know. So that's kind of my theory. It's just, I just want to be the biggest person, you know, possible at the smallest weight, you know, in that division. And I think it's definitely possible, because I've seen people compete at around 6 foot and 6'1", you know, in that division, and you know, they do pretty well. So I don't know, that's kind of why I'm losing the weight. It's just so I could, you know, potentially fight at that weight class, at a 125 pound division. Like, I'm really excited about the possibility of being the tallest, you know, 125 pound fighter in the world. You know, that's really exciting. And the fact that, like, you guys get to see the whole process of me doing that, you know, that's pretty cool too. So anyways, that's the whole story on why I'm losing my weight, you know, and doing all this crazy stuff. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys, like, this is why I'm doing it. This is the whole reason I'm doing it, you know. I'm gonna be a fighter, and I'm gonna fight, you know, in the 125 pound weight class, hopefully. And even the 135 pound, I'd still be way bigger than most of the people in that division. So anyways, that's the whole reason why I'm losing the weight. And so I was just thinking, you know, curiously, this is my reason why I'm losing my weight. It'd be cool if you could comment below on what's the reason why you're losing your weight. You know, I'm curious, you know, why are you losing weight? You know, so tell me in the comments below, why are you losing weight?